Good morning, Dalval. Welcome to the pack period today. I'm going to be here for just a few minutes to kind of introduce what we're going to kind of have as our theme this trimester. And so the theme this trimester is listening well, the art of empathic understanding. And that actually comes from a book that a number of us are reading, and we're taking what we're learning from this book and we're sharing it with you guys because we're finding it extremely valuable. Okay. Anyways, that's the theme for this trimester. We're going to learn how to become better listeners. And this is one of those things where it seems, I don't know, it seems like it's like an obvious, easy thing to do to listen, but it turns out there are a lot of very specific skills that we can learn to become better listeners. And a promise that I can make to you is that if you learn the stuff that we're going to try and teach you and you practice it in your everyday lives, it's something that will improve your relationships and it will just overall improve the quality of life. So without further ado, or actually before further ado, some little tidbits before we dive into the first part of what we're going to learn. So default setting, and this is just a term that I use, and it's kind of like the default setting is what people start out with, right? Everyone kind of starts out with this default setting for the most part, right? And so the thing with the default setting is that we all experience the world in our own unique way. So everything that happens to us, it happens immediately to us, right? So any information about the world, it's filtered through our own experience. Okay. Things are happening to me, around me. I see them, I hear them, I taste them. Everything that's happening has to come through me, right? And because of that, that's where the default setting comes from. Like we have this subjective experience where we are the center of the universe to us because we are literally, right? We're the center of our own universe. So that's kind of the default setting. However, we all know too that we're not actually the center of the universe. I know I put a little meme in there for you. Let's see if I can hide this. Okay, so we are the center of our own universe. I'm the center of my universe. Moving on. So the thing that is a challenge for some people it's not, right? But the thing that we kind of need to do to, become better people and better adjusted people, more well adjusted, is to kind of step outside of that default setting. And it's something that we usually have to, work at continuously, right? So even though I experience the world through my own perspective, there are over 7 billion people in the world all experiencing that same kind of default setting, right? So even though we feel like we're the center of the universe, we got to remind ourselves we're not, okay? So this is kind of just like an intro to get into listening well, because when we listen, we tend to filter what we hear, what we see through our own experience, right? So when somebody's telling a story or telling me how something made them feel, it is a natural tendency for me to think about how I would feel if that happened to me, not how that person would feel with it having happened to them. Does that make sense? So anyways, that's our introduction. You were going to go through some stuff with your teachers, and essentially what you're going to learn today is just how communication works. So you'll go through some slides with your teachers, and you'll talk about each of these steps. And again, it's one of those things we don't usually think about, but there are kind of a lot of steps in how communication works, and we're going to learn about that today. So have at it.